basically, she got Horst Seehofer and the Bavarians in the Christian Social Union to accept a deal which she offered last week. There's been incredible animosity between the two so-called sister parties here. It's essentially the same party. The Christian Social Union is the Bavarian version. They've been together for half a century. And what Mr. Seehofer threatened to do is basically to disobey his boss, the Chancellor, and impose border controls on Monday, starting on Monday, after meeting with the party faithful. They had a 3-hour face-to-face meeting on Thursday. That went nowhere. There were mediation efforts. He even said reportedly over the weekend, "I can't work with that woman," before later saying, "Well, I don't want to do anything to topple the Chancellor." And it looked like this morning, before the news conferences took place, that might actually be something that would happen. However, as it turned out, he has accepted the deal that Angela Merkel was putting forward last week. Let's wait 2 weeks before you talk about border controls. There are already some signs of disagreement about what the accord means. The CSU and Horst Seehofer in Munich saying, we're going to be able to just push the button and have the border controls in place if we're not satisfied with the result of the summit. And Angela Merkel saying at her news conference, that's not what's going to happen. There's going to be more discussion. And just one last note, they timed their news conferences at the same time. They couldn't even coordinate enough to allow one to go before the other. So I think they still need to clear the air, but there's a 2-week reprieve for the German Chancellor.
Nick, at one point Angela Merkel was asked if she was being used as a political pawn.
Yeah, I think, the question is how much of this was political drama for Horst Seehofer, the Bavarian party leader of the Christian Social Union. They face elections in October. They're dropping in the polls. They're losing ground to the far-right Alternative for Germany party. So they have recently taken measures, for instance, to put up crucifixes in public buildings, dealing with a public perception that there's, amongst some voters in Bavaria, an invasion of Islam or a Muslim horde, and Horst Seehofer even saying Islam doesn't really have a place in German history, and then being corrected by the Chancellor. So is this all electioneering? 2/3 of Germans think so. They think this has all been a sort of, if you will, arm wrestle between the Chancellor and her Bavarian Interior Minister in order to show to the Bavarian voters that he's really fighting against immigrants and really trying to do things, all while knowing he would ultimately back off.